Hello, Simon Croom here again from the University of San Diego. In this session, I want to focus on how we can structure our learning in an online environment. Well, the first question is, why should we structure? Well, we naturally organize our curriculum. We organize it by topic, we organize it by activity, lectures, tutorials, teamwork, project presentations, workshops, and so forth. So we're kind of used to it, but the online environment presents a slightly different context for this. Certainly, students' attention span varies depending on the structure of learning experience. So let's just think about what that looks like. In a typical lecture, we know from Gibbs's work and others subsequently that the average student attention span in a traditional lecture is about 15 minutes. What we can do is we can stimulate a rejuvenation, so to speak, by providing a rest period around 20 minutes or by providing a switch in the learning experience. In other words, moving from a lecture by the professor to the students having some time to do a little bit of group work based on a specific question. We also know that online attention span is a completely different world. You have 8 seconds to grab somebody's attention. We're all goldfish now. So that really should be taken into account when we're thinking about structuring our online learning environment. So what works? Going to use the word chunking. It sounds awful, I must say, but it's the term that we use a lot in instructional design. So think about bite-sized chunks of learning. Firstly, break your curriculum into distinct units of learning, and that can be a learning unit or it could be a week in duration. However you want to do it, have some structure so that we can see the path that students are taking. Have clear objectives explicitly designed for the module. Think about engaging students. They need to know what is expected and possibly why. And break down each learning object. And by a learning object, well, for example, this short video presentation is an object. A reading is an object. A blog post review is an object. Watching a YouTube video is an object. So that's what I mean by learning object. So I've got 3 suggestions in this session. Firstly, be succinct. Students will lose interest if you spend too long setting up the topic. So try and dive straight into the topic with as little preamble as possible. If you do need to provide a contextual explanation, why are we studying a topic? What is that topic? What are some of the key methods? Let's explore the method. Maybe consider doing that in written form as an introduction to your learning unit or the week of learning. Secondly, can you make the learning experience bite-sized? I'm trying to keep this lecture under 5 minutes, largely because I think we find that students' attention span, firstly, we've got to grab it within that first 8 seconds. Secondly, we know in an online environment, an 8 to 10 minute chunk of learning is about the optimal size. Be very focused. And this is going to be difficult for most of us. Do not ramble or have long introductions. So don't get distracted. Get straight into the meat of the topic. And thirdly, think about mixing up the media during the design and development of your online course. Narrated PowerPoint, which is what this is a great idea. You can use Zoom, you can use MediaSite, screen capture, and so forth. Try some 2-camera introductions. Students really like to know the person who's assessing them, their guide during the learning. So try a few 2-camera introductions. Whiteboard tutorials and problem analyses are very helpful as well. Nowadays there are multiple methods and technologies we can use to walk through particularly problem development. If you're doing some statistical problem analysis and you want to demonstrate how to do linear regressions or so forth, try walking through with a whiteboard. Again, you can do that in PowerPoint, but there are other tools available. I'm not going to spend too much time on technology. I just want to focus on how we can structure student learning to maximize effectiveness.